Hey guys, Stock Series episode 61. As always, if you want to sign up to Trading212 and get free share, if you're in the EU, you can use the link. And if you're in the UK, maybe in the distant future, if they ever open again. So, up about 7,000 actually on the portfolio overall this week. Been a pretty good week. Sort of end of the week had the Jackson Hole Symposium, Federal Reserve sort of potentially easing off later in the year on the stimulus, but nothing too much yet. So nearly everything saw a rise yesterday, sort of gold and silver and stocks and oil, everything basically. So I've even got a few Fresnillo and Freeport in the green now on these. But yeah, so up to nearly 59,000. Not too bad. That's a fair gain from last week. And yeah, the Trading212 ISA is pretty much not quite flat, up about 300 quid. So not too bad. ArcPi hasn't really moved. Argo blockchain sort of up and down during the week, but up 3% on the week. REITs sort of in general not done too well really, down sort of a couple of percent. DLR's the same. So yeah, just sort of coming down a little bit. They've sort of been doing well over the last few months. So yeah, not too bad. First Majestic with the sort of gold and silver run up has done quite well. 8.5% up on the week, but has been down quite a lot. So I was sort of 150% up on that or something at a while ago. It's now 72%, but hopeful for that. What else have we got? So Polymetal 3% down in the last week. Bit of seemed to sort of buck the trend really last week, going up when some of the others weren't doing quite as well. But yeah, there you go. Primary health pretty flat. So is Realty. Stag down a little. Sylvania sort of come back with the sort of platinum and palladium rise. Still a little bit unsure on rhodium, but does seem a fairly cheap price. Was considering sort of adding some around this sort of 85, 86 pence, but haven't got any money in the ISA, so just didn't want to complicate things and have this again in the invest account as well. So I'm seeing what I can buy maybe this coming week. Yeah, not too much else has moved really. Vici done quite well. Back in profit on that. So that took a bit of a dip with the news of the merger with MGM Growth, but that's come back now. And yeah, so over to the invest account. It's actually done quite well. This is where sort of a good part of the gain has come from really. So it's up £2,700. Some mixed results really. Some of the sort of Chinese tech had a little push. Alibaba sort of during the week, but then it's come back. Archer Daniels done reasonably well. Aviva's pretty flat. Baidu has done really well, 11.3%. So that did sort of get really hammered, and I haven't seen all that much of the regulation that affects them. So I think they were sort of wrongly hammered really. I did buy some sort of before during this low in the previous week, so that was pretty good. Barrett Developments, house builders, UK house builders especially, not doing too bad at the moment, so up 10% on that, plus the dividend. Bristol Myers trailed down a little bit during the week. Broadcom had a fairly good week. It's pretty good. It's about the highest I've been on Broadcom now, I think. Again, plus reasonable dividend. Cardinal still pretty low. Caterpillar's done quite well. eBay 4%, so continues to do really well. So up 33% on that now. FedEx fairly flat. Glencore's had a really good week, 7.8% nearly. Yeah, commodities sort of doing fairly well. Intel up slightly, 3.6%, pretty good. International paper up a little. Invesco, this sort of small position that I took out, up 7% in the last week, so sort of dropped a little bit after I bought, but has now recovered reasonably well. Looked quite good value. With the sort of the Chinese rise, the emerging markets ETFs has done quite well. That's up 3%, quite a big position. Nearly back to profit on that. And Japan doing quite well. Clean energy up a little. And Europe pretty flat. Johnson & Johnson trailed off a little bit this week. Done reasonably well in the last few months. Can't really expect all that much from such a large company. Kears back up to nearly £1.30. Kroger coming off a little bit, but not really a problem with that. Still doing well. 34% up on a supermarket, so can't really moan at that. So yes, I did swap the iShares Global Water ETF for Legal and General Clean Water, and this is just sort of following the same trend, 1.85% up on the week. So hopefully this will continue to do well. Hopefully outperform the iShares Global Water. But yeah, fairly happy with that. So already in the green on that. Legal and General done quite well. Lennar sort of 2.5%, similar to the UK house builders. Lockheed sort of trickling up. Micron had quite a good week. Again, I sort of thought quite oversold. Saw some of the bearish reports on them, sort of saying the memory industry is in for quite a lot of trouble, but I think this seems to have been a bit unfounded, possibly. So, yeah, I was wondering if that rise was sort of just them coming back from that. Nintendo's still down a little bit, considering topping that up going forward. Still think they look good. Porsche, the car makers sort of done reasonably well this week, mostly up sort of 5%. So Porsche done quite well. Prosus done quite well with the 10-cent rise, up 4%, but still quite a bit down on that. Raytheon fairly flat. Renault not quite gone with the other car makers, but Renault seems to do its own thing. Rio Tinto had sort of a little dip previously, going down to sort of nearly £51. That's had a reasonable return. Shell doing quite well. Again, sort of dropped a little with the drop in oil price, but that seems to be recovering. Samsung had a reasonable week. Sega, my little sort of, it's a reasonable position now, sort of £1,300, but that's up 13%. Earnings look fairly good. A little bit choppy sort of price action on this because it's only sort of small cap Japanese. It's over the counter, I think. So not quite as liquid as you'd hope. That was why I had the original sort of drop when I bought. It wasn't the price that I thought I was getting. Seneca's been pretty flat. So Siemens. Sony had quite a good week. Nearly green on that again. I think I may have bought a little bit too high on that with the sort of bullish PlayStation news. But still fairly happy with them. Sort of in the medium term. US small cap ETF done quite well. I think, as I say, sort of most stuff has gone up this week, so the ETFs have done quite well. Stellantis, not quite as good as Porsche and VW, but not too bad. TSMC really good. Yeah, that's sort of probably a bit unfounded. This drop to sort of $108, so not really surprised to see that go up. Still a fair monopoly on the market. Taylor Wimpey, as I say, 3.6%. House builders doing well. Turtle Beach, fairly good week. Again, sort of fair old drop in the previous week. So that's good. Tyson just slightly down a little this week. Vale had a fairly good week, 6.7%. Again, commodities doing well. The video games ETF up a little. Would like to add to that though, so kind of hoping that sort of stays reasonably low. Beatrice just come off a little, and Volkswagen up 4%, back above €200. So yeah, not too bad on the week. Still sort of waiting for a decent crypto move. Probably going to be a little while until I sort of sell some more and can add to these. I am trying to, on the sort of bank holiday weekend, to get a trial of Interactive Brokers. So yeah, hopefully the sort of big sale of crypto later on this year will be topping this Trading212 up, and then putting a reasonable amount in Interactive Brokers direct if I like the platform. So we'll see. If you got any tips, anybody uses Interactive Brokers, leave them in the comments, and yeah, leave a comment if you want to ask anything or comment on anything else. So yeah, like and subscribe, and see you soon.